Welcome back. The Obama administration still considering its options on where to try the 9/11 terror suspects. But one U.S. senator, a Republican, says he is willing to help the White House make a deal. He says he will help close Gitmo if President Obama tries Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and his four co-conspirators, easy for me to say, in a military tribunal. Talking about Senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham. He's joining us from Capitol Hill. Good morning to you, Senator.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Good morning.
The White House is in a pickle. They said over a year ago, we're going to change what's going on at Gitmo. We're going to close it. We're going to send people back. We're going to do blah, 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 all that stuff.
Right.
They have not been able to do that. Now, coming to help the White House is this Republican from South Carolina. What do you want in return?
Well, I want a rational detention policy. I've been on board for the idea of creating a legal framework that doesn't exist for the war on terror for about 4 years. The only way I will close Gitmo is if we can do it safely. Putting KSM into civilian court in New York was a devastating bad deal that undermines our national security, and it blew up in their face. But it's more than getting him back in military commissions. We need a statute that will allow us to keep enemy combatants off the battlefield indefinitely, because they're not common criminals subject to criminal trial. They're enemy combatants, and this country needs a law that will allow us to keep them off the battlefield as long as they're dangerous. And if a judge orders a detainee released, we should have a statute preventing them from being released in the United States. The HIG should be used in every case without reading people the Miranda rights. If we create all this legal infrastructure, then I think it's in our national security interest to safely close Gitmo, but only if you do everything else.
Okay, Senator, I don't have to tell you, you are one of the few Republicans who says close Gitmo.
Yes, I understand that. The other Republican is George W. Bush. General Petraeus will be testifying in 2 weeks, and I will ask him, why does he think we should close Gitmo? And he's going to explain his rationale that it's being used against our troops in the Mideast. It is an image that hurts the war effort, puts them at risk, and our allies will not turn prisoners over to us for interrogation thinking they may go to Gitmo. But if you can't close it safely, keep it open. I'd rather keep it open than take everybody to civilian court.
So does the president have to announce, okay, I'm going to try these guys in a military tribunal before you're going to make the deal?
It's got to be more than that. That helps us get started with the legal framework. If we don't create laws that allow these guys to be held indefinitely off the battlefield, and we don't have a place to put people once they're ordered released other than the United States, and we don't standardize the HIG, none of it will work. It's a lot more than putting KSM back in the military court. I've been trying to do this for 5 years. This is a big deal for the country. We got to win this war.
Okay, meanwhile, I have not broken into your day planner, but I know that at 3 o'clock today you're going to be meeting with the President of the United States. You and Chuck Schumer have been working on a bipartisan bill to effectively give all the illegals in this country a path to citizenship, also this national ID card as well. How close are you to making a deal with Schumer to bring this to the Senate?
We're working on a piece of legislation to try to solve the immigration problem. The legislation will require secure borders verified by border state governors. The legislation will require a tamper-proof ID card to get a job. All of us have a Social Security card. Everybody at Fox News has a Social Security card. It's a piece of paper. I can get it forged by midnight. I can make you Ronald Reagan if you want to be by getting it forged. I'm trying to turn that document, and you'd be a good Ronald Reagan. I'm trying to turn that piece of paper into a biometric card that can't be tampered with.
Senator, you know the argument is Big Brother is watching and somehow track wherever we go.
Well, here's the argument. You got a piece of paper that everybody is required to have just to get a job, and it's used for illegal employment. If you're serious about getting rid of illegal immigration forever and not having 12 million more in the future, you better control how you get a job in America. And if we're not willing as a nation to turn the paper into a tamper-proof document so employers will know who's legal and who's not, we're never going to solve this. And this idea about tracking people, the GPS, is just a bunch of garbage.
Okay, there's a soundbite we'll be running today. Lindsey Graham, Mr. Bipartisan, we thank you very much for joining us today from Capitol Hill.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
you.
All right. You need a license for